The world is still ending, but at least we have Eurovision now. I wanted to record this earlier. Eurovision happened, or the final of Eurovision happened on Saturday. It's been a few days, but I needed to go through and process some emotions first, so that's why I'm doing this only now. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to the second video this month. It's a miracle. We have a second video a month now. I don't know if this will become a thing. Eurovision is a special time, so yeah. Also, I've been watching a bunch of French stuff recently for reasons that will become clearer later, I suppose. So I'm very sorry if I mess up some words, because French is a lot in my brain sometimes. I might mispronounce some things more than usual. Yeah, I speak French, in case you didn't know. I'm European. I think it's pretty clear. I'm white, and I have a European accent. I'm originally from the Czech Republic. I was born there. I know Czech. All my family is Czech, but I actually moved to Western Europe when I was really young, so I grew up in Western Europe, and that's where I'm living also right now. And yeah, that makes me European. And so I like to watch the Eurovision Song Contest. For those of you who might not know, who might not come from countries where Eurovision is a thing, the Eurovision Song Contest is a contest for songs. So you have countries that make original songs and send them into the contest, and one of the songs wins, and that's how contests work. I've been asked multiple times if it's like The Voice. I guess you can use that comparison if it helps you, but you need to keep in mind the distinction that Eurovision is a song contest, not a singer contest. So in Eurovision, it's the whole performance in the song that is being judged, not only the singer's capability. So a lot of times you're going to be, watching a performance where the singer is not as strong as you might see usually on The Voice, which is normal, and it's fine, and it's okay, Yeah, I feel like even the better singers can get very nervous on Eurovision because it's such a different thing. It's such a big deal. It is the largest non-sporting televised event in the world. So, and it's closer to the Olympics, I would say, than it is to The Voice. There are multiple countries participating. It's not about whether they are in Europe or not. The criteria is you have to be part of the European Broadcasting Union, which is based in Europe, I suppose, but it doesn't only comprise of European countries. So you have Australia that takes part. That is the most exotic one, I would say. But like you have also countries like Azerbaijan and Turkey used to take part, and I think at least one African country too, but I'm not sure. That is the criteria. It is called Eurovision because it is the European Broadcasting Union, but it's not only countries that are in Europe, and not all countries that are in Europe take part in it. So for example, Luxembourg doesn't, Slovakia doesn't, Andorra doesn't. But yeah, there are some countries that don't take part in it. It's just it's a big deal. Some countries might not have the funds to send songs every year and stuff like that. So you have one winner, and then the following year, the Eurovision Song Contest is hosted in the country that won. So in 2019, the Netherlands won with Duncan Lawrence and his Arcade. And so it was supposed to be hosted in the Netherlands in 2020, but then it was obviously cancelled because of the pandemic. And so it instead happened this year, still in the Netherlands. And so next year is going to be in the country that won, and I'll reveal that in a second. Before we go into the specificalities of everything, I would like to say that this year was very strong musically. I feel like the 1 year that they had, I know they usually have 1 year also, but since it was such a special time, and it was, if I'm correct, the first time in history that Eurovision was cancelled, I feel like in 2021 they came back with much stronger songs. And genuinely, there weren't many songs that I disliked. There were songs that I was kind of like meh about, but most of the songs I was like, this is a good song, or this is an amazing song. So I'm very, very happy about this year. I'm very proud. It was a great year musically. I also would like to say that the Netherlands did a great job hosting it with all the limitations that they had, with all the testing, all of that stuff. But I think they still did a great job, and they had a live audience, and most of the artists could perform live. So that was very, very good. And the only artists that couldn't perform live were Australia, which I don't think could travel because of COVID, and Iceland. Actually, I think 2 people from their performance group got a positive COVID test result back, in the few days between their rehearsals and the actual shows, and so they had to use the second rehearsal and use that and play it so they didn't perform live, but they just kind of like showed it on screen anyway. So the results: Italy won, congratulations. France was second and Switzerland was third. I am genuinely happy with the results. I am really happy that most of the top 5 is in native languages. So out of the top 5, 2 are in French. Switzerland and France are in French. Italy was in Italian, and Ukraine was in Ukrainian. And the only song that wasn't in a native language was Iceland, which was in English, of course. But they're forgiven because Iceland is amazing. I was rooting for a different country than the one that won, but I'm still happy. I feel like the song is good. It's not my favorite, but it's still a great song, and congrats to Italy. Another historical moment, because every win in Eurovision is a historical moment. You get written in the history books, so it's pretty amazing to win Eurovision. But another historical moment was the 0 points. So the way the voting system works is that you have different points from the jury and you have different points from the actual public, from the people that are watching all over Europe and not Europe. What happened is that for the public, for the televotes, 4 countries received 0 points, which has never happened before. Like, oh yeah, sometimes you get 0 points. Czech Republic got 0 points in 2016, but that's okay. But it's just a lot. And I knew when that happened, I was like, all those telepoints are like going somewhere else to a country that's going to just blow up and win this whole thing. And it was Italy, and I was right. But anyways, so the 4 countries that got 0 points from the televotes were the UK, Germany, Spain, and the Netherlands. I would like to say none of these people, they were all guys actually, none of these guys had bad songs. The reason why they got 0 points was probably all these points went to other countries that then the televotes were pretty wild this year, so that was fun. And also it's the curse of the Big Five and the hosting country. So a lot of the times the Big Five, right, you have semifinals because there are so many countries, but 5 countries don't have to qualify for the semifinals because they pay the most money to Eurovision. They basically fund most of the thing. But since they don't have to qualify, they don't go through the actual process of people like listening to the song and be like, oh, okay, I'll vote for this in the semifinal. And like you have a whole extra step with the semifinals that of course is a risk that your song won't go into the final, but it's also just like, yeah, if it's a bad song, that we get rid of it and it doesn't make it into the final. And so sometimes songs that are not very much liked make it into the final because they're the top 5, and then they do badly. And it's not even that the songs are bad, it's just people don't like it, or they just don't like the country. Like, so I personally really like Germany's song, and I really like the Dutch song too. I thought they were very good. I personally didn't vote for them. Spain also did a great job, and the UK, all of these songs were good. Also, the thing I said about the top 5 also kind of goes for the hosting country. People, I feel like, don't tend to pay much attention to the song that comes after a winning song from the same country, right? So everyone was like, oh yeah, our kid is amazing, but then they saw the song that came afterwards and they were like, okay, it's the Netherlands. I don't think we're gonna really vote for the Netherlands. They won last year. I don't actually know what's going on in the heads of people, but I've seen a trend. Like, this happens. The countries that won the previous year usually don't do well the following year. That's just how it goes. And so I don't think there's like a hatred for any of those countries or a dislike of the songs. It's just how the competition goes, kind of. Yeah, also it's funny that the 2 other Big 5 countries ended up in the top 3. So it's like you either are like top 3 or you get 0 points from the televotes, and I think that's so funny. Also, not only the televotes, but the UK actually got like 0 points, not even from the juries, and I think that's really funny because that doesn't usually happen, like you at least get some points from the jury, like pity points from the jury or pity points from the televote, but the UK just like 0, and I don't think that happens a lot with the new voting system. So we got a new voting system in 2016, I think. So with the new voting system, you're basically guaranteed to get at least a few points because the votes are split. So every country gives 1 to 8 and then 10 and 12 points twice, basically. So there's a lot of points to be allocated. So like there's basically a guarantee that you're at least gonna get some points somewhere. But no, the UK just like, no. That was really funny. I would like to say the songs were good. They didn't deserve the 0 points that they got in their respective voting parts, but that's just how it goes. The competition, it's Eurovision. It is about the songs, but also not really. Sometimes it's countries. It's gonna be political in some way. So I would like to thank the performers. They did a great job, and yeah, hope you don't feel too sad about it because it's just Europe. We're insane. So as a member of Europe, As a citizen of Europe, I have a European phone number. I can vote. So I voted 4 times this year. I voted twice for Switzerland, once for Ukraine, and once for Iceland. Those were my favorite songs. It's weird sometimes the way I think about this voting is like there are different songs that I enjoy and there are different songs that I want to win. So I was thinking I want Switzerland to win. I would also be very happy if Ukraine won, and I would also be very, very happy if Iceland won. So that was kind of my voting process. But there are other songs that I also very much liked and still listen to them. Germany was one of them. I liked Azerbaijan too. Norway I've been listening to a while before Eurovision happened. So these songs were still good, but I was like, they're not winning songs. So that's how I voted. There are many great songs this year, so if this whole Eurovision thing sounds like something you would enjoy and you haven't been into Eurovision before, I definitely recommend you to check it out. It's just great. And especially if you're from a country that does take part in Eurovision, I think it's a fun thing to, once a year tune into and just kind of chill. Like, you don't even have to care about the results really. You can just laugh at the performances and at the fails of the singers who can't hold their notes and stuff like that. Like it's just fun. I had friends over and we watched the final together and it was a lot of fun and it was great. So yeah, I definitely recommend. As this is a competition, drama happens. As with like everything that has its reach on the internet. There was a bunch of stuff that happened. I don't really want to talk about everything because I don't really care. Italy got accused of snorting cocaine, I think, at the final, like right before they won or something. I don't really care. Even if they did, which I don't think they did, they still won and deserve to win. So I don't care. And there's a bunch of stuff like that I'm like, okay, like there was a bunch of Belgium slander that I saw before. I lived in Belgium for a while, so I have a bond with Belgium, and I heard some slander of the singers, and I actually thought that they were just like being disrespectful and stuff, but then I looked into it and actually like, no, they didn't really do anything wrong. It's just, yeah, anyways, I'm not trusting people ever again. Belgium, you did a great job. I'm proud of you. I'm not actually Belgian, but I mean, I am. What makes you a certain nationality? Like, I've lived in Belgium most of my life, so yeah, you did a great job, Belgium. I love you. So the biggest drama that I want to talk about is the France and Switzerland slander that came after Italy won. I understand that maybe some of it came from just the rush of Italy winning. I know a lot of people were a fan of Italy, and that somehow came with the opposing emotion of hating Switzerland and France. I have also seen a lot of French people yelling at Italians and Italians yelling at French people, so now you know why we tend to keep those two apart on the opposite sides of the score table. The songs were so different. So Italy had a very much punk rock song. That's what people told me. I don't know much about music genres, so I'm sorry if that's wrong. And France had a chanson, a traditional French way of singing, and Switzerland had a ballad. So they were both slower, a little quieter songs. That doesn't mean that they were slow and quiet. So like, for example, the French song accelerated at some point and became very intense towards the end. Same goes for the Swiss song. That one was slower definitely, but still became very intense. No Switzerland and France slander in this house. All the top 3 songs, or like the top 10 songs, were great. Okay, I understand that you might have a favorite genre and stuff like that, but you don't have to hate on the songs. Like, you won. What more do you need? Just respect the songs. I've seen people say that the two songs sound similar, France and Switzerland, because they are, like I said, slower and a little quieter compared to Italy. And they're also both in French. I suppose some of you don't speak French. That's okay. You don't have to. But if you listen both to the styles of music, and then if you Google the lyrics and translate them, they're very different songs. They talk about different things. They're singing different styles. So French has this, like, their own way of singing. So the French singer brought this back to Eurovision. And the Swiss song is a ballad. I don't exactly know what the definition of a power ballad is, but I would call it a power ballad. They definitely have some sort of vibe. They both are a little angsty if you just listen to the music and stuff. But they're very different at their core. And so yeah, don't say like, oh yeah, they're basically the same song. Like, they're not. Every song is very different, and like we had a lot of like girl power songs this year, but I thought that was amazing. I prefer that over songs that are boring and don't have anything interesting going on. And then like, I'm not the biggest fan of ballads. Yes, this year my favorite song is a ballad, but if you just stand in front of a microphone for 3 minutes and sing without anything interesting happening, I'm not gonna be a fan of it. I need to be entertained. I went on a rant there, I'm sorry. But yeah, basically they are not the same song. Also, I saw people saying that the juries were terrible for giving so many points to France and Switzerland. They wouldn't be 2 and 3 if they only got votes from the jury. France was second in the jury vote and third in the televote. She was only like 14 points short, I think, of first place. If the public hated it, if the juries were the only ones deciding stuff, she wouldn't be second, okay? Same goes for Switzerland. Yes, he was first in televotes and 7th, if I'm not wrong, with the televotes. So again, yes, he was mostly carried by the jury votes, but still, he did very good with the televoters too. So if those were hated songs, they wouldn't get as many points from the televote. So please don't say that it's just the juries being terrible and liking ballads every year. Have some respect, okay? Like, it's just don't be mean. I just want to have fun, and then I go on the internet and I see things like that and it just makes me angry. I was also a little bit upset with people saying that in the end bisexuals won. The band had very much bisexual vibes. I would know I'm bisexual. It wasn't really my style of bisexual, but I could see it, I could understand. But that implied that the other 2 songs that were in the top 3 were not gay or queer. And it's like, maybe they were not as outwardly queer as Italy was, but that doesn't make them not queer. None of the 2 other songs, the French and the Swiss song, were about straight love. Just look at the lyrics. Honestly, I really like this one meme that I found. I don't remember exactly how it goes. I'm gonna put it up on screen. But it went something like, they showed the top 3 when they were still allocating the points and deciding who's gonna win. And I was like, yes, that's it. They're all gay. I don't know, like, look at Switzerland. He was wearing a sparkly black shirt. Like, that is the most amazing thing ever. Like, I want that shirt, honestly. I want it. Then also the French lady was very, very cute. Yeah, like, I get it. Italy has very aggressive bisexual vibes, but that doesn't make the other 2 songs straight. They're not singing about love in either case. Please just go look at the lyrics. Really, like, the songs have depth. They have a message. The Italian song also has depth and has a message, but the Swiss and the French song do too. And you don't have to slander any of those. They're just good songs, okay? They're just good. Think about the people for a second. I literally just went on Tumblr and Twitter to see how people were reacting, and all I saw was just slander of Switzerland and France. And you don't know these people. You're just like happy that Italy won. I get it. That's understandable. But you don't have to hurt those that didn't win in the process. You can compliment your fave without bringing anyone else down. After Eurovision, I went into a little bit of a rabbit hole and went to look for some information on these 2, on Barbara Pravi and John Steers. They're great people. They're very talented and skilled people who have a lot of passion for what they're doing. Barbara did a TED Talk that you can look at. She was very good. It's all in French probably, so if you don't speak French, that is a problem. John Steers was on The Voice France in 2019. They have a lot of stuff that they have done already, and they're just great people. They're also very nice, very polite. Also, they have each their personality and do stuff that they love. You don't have to bring these people down just because you maybe didn't enjoy their song that much and you preferred another song. Just be nice. Every performer deserves to be treated nicely. This is a competition, but we really don't have to bring anyone down here, okay? To not make this video entirely clickbait, I want to have a little section about why the Switzerland song was my favorite and why I voted for it and hoped it would win. So the song is Tout l'univers by John Steers. Tout l'univers means all of the universe in French. The song has vague lyrics. It doesn't talk about one specific thing. You can put your own interpretation of a moment into it. It talks about the way that it was expressed by John Steers was an impact and a cycle about that impact. I don't know how to explain it really. Also, the French in my head is not helping. Sometimes some things happen in life that shake us to our core, and shake our entire world. So this is the moment of impact. But then you have to keep going. You usually pick yourself up and keep going and go through all of that and continue on with your life. So that's the cycle of something ends, something comes to an abrupt end, or something shatters, but you have to start anew from that and keep going. I don't know. I found like immediately a situation that I could connect to that song. And so that's probably why it is so powerful for me. I can put myself into those lyrics and see my life and certain moments in my life through that song. And I think that's really amazing. The song is also, in John Steer's words, made to express emotion. It is supposed to make you feel a certain way, and that's the point of the song. I am definitely a person that is not usually touched by lyrics, but more by melodies. And so the melody of the song, the whole arrangement, the whole sound of it is just, it's amazing. And then the fact that the lyrics are also good is definitely a bonus for me, and I love crying when I'm singing. I'm basically just crying when I sing the song. If you don't feel any emotion when listening to the song, when reading through the lyrics, that's how it works. Music is different for everyone, but I had a very strong reaction to this song, and I very, very much like it. And it's just great. The lyrics are amazing, and I know this will be limited for someone who doesn't speak French, but there are a few lines that just like, they're so good. I tried to translate them into English and put them in this video, but the more I thought about it, the less satisfied I was with the translation, and so I decided against it. But it's just good, okay? It has such a different vibe from when songs are in English also. I'm basically a native speaker in French. That's a whole different part of my life, but whatever. It just hit different. And French is also just like a nice language. I had a lot of struggles with French when I was in high school, and also when I still live in Belgium, because French is hard, and yeah. But I feel like thanks to this song, and also the French song, and in general me going back to a little more French francophone French speaking stuff, I found my way to the language, and yeah, that's making me very happy, honestly. I came to like the song actually at the semi-final. I feel like I listened to the songs a lot before Eurovision itself, but your feelings about certain songs and your liking of the songs can change within Eurovision week. And so I feel like I went into Eurovision week with like, okay, Switzerland is solid, but like not really my thing, to then being like, okay, Switzerland is my favorite song and I want this to win. Yeah, that's just how Eurovision goes. I'm just happy that I got to hear this song and I got to watch the contest that it happened this year. After last year, I would just take anything, honestly. I just wanted the feeling, the vibe to be back. It was such a great year. Very strong year. Very good. I was thinking of like talking about each song and like reacting to them, but I think like that would be a little too much. I have so much to say about everything, about every song, but I just wanted to limit it to this, because then I would just make an hour-long video and no one really wants that. Definitely not me. That's the point. I don't want that. I don't want to edit it. It's so long. Those were my thoughts on Eurovision. TLDR, be nice. Don't be mean for like no reason at all. Go listen to the songs if you found what I was talking about interesting. And if you're still a little confused about what Eurovision is and stuff like that, I can possibly make a guide to Eurovision video if that's something that you would be interested in. So let me know if you would like that. Otherwise, I'll maybe like once a year or like once in a while do a Eurovision video, just like, hey, remember this thing that exists? And I'm very much into, because I'm European. Actually, no, you don't have to be European. Not all Europeans are into Eurovision, but whatever. But yeah, so those were my takes, and I hope you'll have a nice day. Tout l'univers, notre cœur sous la terre, au milieu des failles où tout éclate, se trouver au point d'impact.